and kind of like Trish in here. So I'm going to go ahead and cue that up and let the internet know that we are here. Jackson with a chick kick. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna grab a sip of water before things really start going on. Let's see. Yeah. So I'll be right back. I very much enjoy the fact that Bo Jackson is a Fire Pro character. Video games are good sometimes. So Stratus locking on that sharpshooter. Bo Jackson, a man on the Mount Rushmore of professional sports, refusing to be submitted. This goes for the cover. Harada notices Jackson's hands in the ropes. This match will continue. Big back fist from Jackson. Jackson seeming to measure Stratus here, figuring out exactly how he wants to tackle this problem. Sidewalk slam. Once again, this time delivering that big shoulder block. Now running the ropes. And devastating tackle. Buries a shoulder right in the stomach of Trish Stratus. But Stratus, massive power bomb. And that nearly putting Jackson away. Once, twice. And hold on, Death Valley driver. And cover 1, 2, 3 count fall. And Bo Jackson victorious over Trish Stratus in our dark match for this evening. And I believe he calls that hold. Oh no, that was just a triple powerbomb. There is a move in his move list called the Auburn Tiger Driver, and that's real good. Just circling back to my video games are good, wrestling is good. Both of those things good sometimes. A lot of the time they're actually both garbage, as it turns out. But right in that particular moment, for the 6 or 7 minutes that match was going on, video games and wrestling was good. But people starting to file into the room, or into the arena rather, for some Blake's House professional wrestling. Video games and wrestling are good some of the time. Although I heard the AEW pay-per-view was excellent, and there is a handful of matches on that card that I very much want to see. At the top of the list, obviously, being Orange Cassidy versus Pac, because Orange Cassidy is just a fucking delight in the world of professional wrestling, and selling that match on this time he's going to try is just delightful. Like, that is what pro wrestling is. But appreciate you stopping by, Daniel. You made it just in time for the official beginning of another edition of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. So I'm going to ask everybody in the arena to get on your feet and make some noise as we are starting another week of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting off to another edition of Blake's House Professional Wrestling. Of course, just as it was last week, we at the BHW offices are becoming increasingly alarmed. Maglo has once again not responded to phone calls, text messages, and is not at the arena for the second week in a row. Maglo, of course, you are aware, the current Blake's House Tag Team Champion, as well as a fan favorite of the Blake's House universe, as it were. I will be sure to update you guys with that situation as it develops. In a little bit more, I guess in a little bit more optimistic news, of course, we have an absolutely stacked card for you guys tonight. Taking Maglo's place in the Maglo Open Challenge, once again, COLBY will be answering the call of any man that wishes to step inside the squared circle and challenge the best and brightest competitors that exist in Blake's House. If you were not already aware, tonight's show is the Night of Champions appearing on the program. And specifically, tonight's main event, Eric Alpizar cashing in that #1 contender's opportunity. He has been beating the best and brightest stars of Blake's House Professional Wrestling week in and week out. Terrell once again will be stepping inside the squared circle to defend his title. But that is not the only champion you are going to be seeing on tonight's program. A man taking on Joey Bag of Donuts in a special exhibition, as A-Man has only had one title defense on Blake's House television. He has been tremendously successful in JPW's own programming, but a #1 contender on Blake's House television has yet to be decided. But in an effort to get the champion in front of you, the viewing audience, we are putting him in a special exhibition against the uncrowned king of Judgment Pro Wrestling. Speaking of Judgment Pro Wrestling, the JPW office have been in a bit of a feud with James Holloway and the stable of Holloway, Shenjo, and Blake Cabus. And additional repercussions are in order. Those three gentlemen will be taking on a team of the Gatekeeper and the Firm. The Firm, of course, winning the Chop Shop Tag Team titles in a tournament sponsored by the Source Magazine. That it means those two individuals will have to decide how they are splitting up $50,000 in a brand new SUV on top of 2 title belts they will be wearing around their waist. But let us not waste any more time. I understand we have a video message from the Knicks Wrestling Organization offices as we are about to get started on our first match of the evening. So let me go ahead and roll that video package as we prepare our opening contest.
Tonight we have a special treat for you. It's going to be a battle royale for the #1 contendership for the NWO heavyweight title. And the rules are going to be pinfall or submission only. If you get thrown over the top of the rope, tough shit, you're still in the match. Have fun.
And there you have it, folks. Our opening contest tonight is going to be a battle royal for the #1 contender spot for that Knicks Wrestling Organization title. And you can see 8 names on your screen. Once again, Matthew Knapp getting some preferential treatment from the Knicks Wrestling Organization office. But this is a bit of an intra-promotional contest, as you see competitors from Blake's House Wrestling and Judgment Pro Wrestling interested in challenging for that unorthodox championship that the top stars of Mixed Wrestling Organization are competing for. But let's not waste any more time, folks. Let's get right into this contest right now. Frank Vista, possibly the competitor to watch here. A man that has been in Battle Royal after Battle Royal for several weeks in a row now. A man that had originally competed in one-on-one mixed martial arts contest has become very accustomed to the chaos of these 8-man Battle Royals. And you've got to wonder if that is going to give him a bit of an advantage in this contest. Right now, Matthew Knapp taking it to Vista right now. Using his own amateur wrestling experience. There's some inter-promotional action. Blake's House, Judgment Pro Wrestling, and Mixed Wrestling Organization all going toe-to-toe on the right side of your screen here. And big STO and suplex just flattening Jordan. Now this, of course, very different from the Maglo Open Challenge Battle Royal or the COLBY Open Challenge Battle Royal as it will be this evening. It is very possible that this fight will spill out to the outside of the ring. And that will completely change the dynamic of this match to that of the Battle Royals you are typically familiar with. And there it is, Rip Studley sent to the outside. But will be coming back into the ring and applies a hold to Jim Jack. But not enough to put Jim Jack away. And knock Valdo with the power of flame, temporarily blinding Sean Satchwell. Now this not being over Battle Royal, it's going to take a lot more punishment to score an elimination in this contest. We are going to be seeing 8 men in the ring for a considerably longer time than we are used to in a Blake's House Battle Royal situation. Big belly-to-belly overhead suplex from Vista. And a massive double stomp from Jordan. Now Jordan, a bit of a wild card here. David certainly makes sense as a competitor that would be interested in the Mixed Wrestling Organization title. A bit of a hardcore specialist, but Jordan yet to really find his voice in Blake's House Professional Wrestling. That may be why he has entered himself into this match here. And repeated chops to the chest. Jordan just absolutely punishing Frank Vista. Sliding lariat from that powerful lariator that is Sean the Swashbuckler Satchwell. And big magic killer. There's changing dance partners here. Gorgeous bridge from Matthew Knapp on that suplex, but the chaos just too much. Hold on, Jordan with a buzzsaw kick, just trying to take Studley's head off his shoulders. Double leg takedown. And David going high risk, but Jordan pulling Vista out of the way.
Give up.
Jordan nearly eliminated by that suplex, and Matthew Knapp is getting fired up in this contest. 1, 2, 3. Big gut wrench suplex from Knapp. Once again, putting that wrestling background to good use. David going for that package pile driver, but Satchwell had it scouted.
Give up.
Jim Jack trying to score an elimination on Knapp, but hold on. We've got 3 men on the outside, and it is just absolute chaos. Mario's count is at 6. There are 2 pins being attempted in the ring, but we may have several eliminations right here. When Nick Vidala suggested the format for this Battle Royal, this is extremely on brand for the Mixed Wrestling Organization. Hold on, roll through, but too close to the ropes. Still have 8 competitors in the ring. Ooh, a double stomp will not connect. Outside. Satchwell somehow still hanging on after being put in that Boston Crab. You've got to figure the time that all of these competitors have been in this match is taking their toll. Nearly an elimination on Valdo there, but still not enough. David now setting up for something here. Signaling for the springboard elbow, but Matthew Knapp pulling Valdo out of the way, and that's going to create an opportunity for Jordan to apply some punishment. Sliding D once again. Forearm smash to the side of the head. And Jim Jack now going high risk. Oh my God. Just crushes Vista's skull right against that turnbuckle pad. 1, 2, 3. And I believe that is our first elimination. David taken out of this contest by Jordan. Blake's House eliminating Blake's House here. And crushing backbreaker. Oh, nearly another elimination right there, but not quite enough. Vista goes for a cover, but Studley wanting to score the eliminations himself, a tactic so dangerous in a matchup like this, where the goal has to be saving your stamina. If you are the lone man in the center of the ring, getting your hand raised at the end, oh, Jordan setting up for some sort of dive, but just too much chaos, too many bodies in the ring.
Give up.
Matthew Knapp has his eye on Jim Jack, goes for that double leg, doesn't connect. And hold on, I believe that's a neck-wrenching maneuver. Oh my God, big blockbuster from Knock Valdo. We are down to 6. And Jordan with 2 eliminations, as I believe that was Knock Valdo eliminated via armbar, but Knock Valdo getting a bit of a receipt in on the way out, taking it out on Rip Studley. And just as it is in many of our battle royals that we have had on this show, now there are fewer bodies in the ring. This match a lot easier to call, a lot easier to make predictions on exactly who is going to be coming out on top in this contest. Ooh, big double armbar from Studley, and that's going to send Jordan packing. 1, 2, 3. And Matthew Knapp eliminated as well, as Studley coming out swinging with that big boot. We are down to 3. Sean Satchwell, the lone member in this contest, not representing Nick's wrestling organization, and he is going to be battling it out against 2 of NWO's finest. Big roaring lariat, and Studley absolutely flattens.
2.
Rana rolling through. And clutch backbreaker from Satchwell, but hold on. Double underhook facebuster, but unable to capitalize as Studley breaks up any attempt to maintain momentum. Satchwell wants to go high risk and does connect with that big back elbow, looking for a second one, but Studley pulling Jim Jack away from that corner turnbuckle. And stunner, but Studley once again lays out Satchwell, but there's just too much chaos. Hold on. Oh my God! Broadside lariat just absolutely flattening Jim Jack. And Satchwell is on a tear here, possibly setting up going broadside again. No. Just a devastating DDT. But Satchwell, a man on a mission in this contest, goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3 count fall. And Satchwell winding up that arm that did so much damage over the course of tonight's contest, as the 2 bodies in the ring beside him, 2 of Nick's wrestling organization's top stars, and he is coming for Dick Bruiser, as he is your new #1 contender. Sean Satchwell victorious in one hell of an opening contest. Yeah, it definitely was shorter than it could have been. It was kind of the slow start that I thought it was going to be, but when it got down to about 5, then shit really started ramping up, and yeah, definitely turned into one hell of a match. And Satchwell unloading with that that broadside lariat. Critical is just always fun to see in this game. But let's keep things going here in the Night of Champions appearing on tonight's show. As we have got another competitor from Nick's wrestling organization, a former KOF TV title champion. We're going to be seeing Brad Chad going up against Zack Labor Jr. Two men that have teamed with one another. That's Labor with a U, Drew. Zack Labor Jr. Two competitors that had been tagging together for several weeks straight. Going to be going one-on-one against one another after their tag team was dissolved upon the defeat by the Mega Bucks last week. So let us go ahead and get into this contest right now. this match, it's going to be technician versus technician. Now, their time teaming together was very interesting. Kurt London, the glue that held that team together, I would argue, in with their technical style and his acrobatic, flashy style.
Sure.
Like, making themselves a bit of an enigma for the opposition. But right now, it is going to be mat wrestling versus mat wrestling. Catch as catch can style, as only these two can do it. Thus far, Zack Sabre on top here, but Brad Shad creating some space for that hammer throw, rolls through.
Sure.
Trying to sneak a pinfall on the technical wizard. Big European uppercut, chopping Brad Shad down, and tries to lock on that scarf hold, but Brad Shad has it broken up. Another big European uppercut, and this time grabbing a leg. And this is the style that Sabre is so well known for. If there is any outstretched limb, he is going to get a hold of it and just try to absolutely break that body part down. And here he is once again trying to work the legs of Brad Shad. Brad Shad going to need to find some answer, as Zack Sabre just in total control of this contest in the opening minutes here. And locks on that scarf hold once again. But Brad Shad using that free arm to break free, and now both competitors matching European uppercut for European uppercut. But Brad Shad coming out of that exchange on top. And now Brad Shad grabbing both arms, but such a difficult man to keep down. Zack Sabre able to break the hold before too much damage could be applied. You can tell Brad Shad still got a lot more left in the tank, not allowing Zack Sabre to really maintain that offensive momentum, but not getting much started himself. Here we go, big dragon screw leg whip. Zack Sabre reverses and locks on that cross arm breaker. Brad Shad getting a hand on that bottom rope. And here is that guillotine chokehold that would eliminate Sarah Reese in their tag team action just a couple weeks ago. But looks like Brad Shad made of a little bit tougher stuff than that, as he is able to overcome and lift and drop Sabre onto his neck. And Brad Shad now in the driver's seat. Big flying armbar, but foot on the bottom rope. Brad Shad so very aware of where he is in the ring. Once again, another surprise roll-up. Trying to steal this matchup from Sabre at this point, as Sabre just been in control for nearly the entire 7 minutes of this contest. Both competitors taking a moment to breathe here, figure out exactly what they want to do. That suplex will be blocked by Brad Shad, and Brad Shad now on top here. Shote and goes for a harder shot, but now picks the leg. A bit of a flashy pinning combination, but Sabre able to get a hand on the bottom rope. Ooh, possibly setting up for that airplane spin, but just inches away from the bottom rope. Unable to get that rope break, will have to power out of that hold himself, and he does. Zack Sabre just continuing to work any outstretched limb that he can get a hold of.
Sure.
where it looks like Brad Shad's strategy focusing on the legs. Big frog splash here, cover 2, and gets the first 2 count of tonight's contest. But I don't think Zack Sabre is interested in pinfalls here. He wants to make you tap out. But Brad Shad proving that is very difficult to do, and changing his strategy a little bit, going for those pinning combinations, might be the answer for him in this contest. Sabre running the ropes. Ooh, big boot sidestepped, and that's going to create an opening for Brad Shad. Absolutely gorgeous spin out there, drop toe hold. But this time, Sabre able to connect with that Northern Light suplex, transitions into a cross arm breaker, but Brad Shad is to his feet first.
Shoot!
Goes for it again, but once again blocked and into a DDT. We might be witnessing something of a rope-a-dope strategy from Brad Shad, as he has found second wind in the later minutes of this contest. Big Sambo suplex absolutely flattens Zack Sabre Jr. and rolls through once again. But this time it was Brad Shad a little bit too close to the ropes on his offensive effort. And big frog splash here. But not electing to go for the cover, will instead deliver a devastating chop to the throat. And this time, Sabre has nowhere to go. He's got to sit in this hold. Somehow able to slip out. And this match will spill over to the outside. Hold on, what's Brad Shad setting up here? Oh, just showing off for the fans here. Teasing the audience that wanted to see Brad Shad dive to the outside, but not tonight. Instead, another bridge cover 1, 2. Oh my God, that was nearly it. And Brad Shad once again, double armbar, and that's gonna do it. A bit of a rough start from Brad Shad, but found second life later on in that contest and never gave up that momentum. And Brad Shad making a statement. That's calling himself the best in the world, not unfounded, as he beats one of the best and brightest submission specialists from across the pond. And yeah, that 75% is a lie, and I won't stand for it because that was a good match. That being said, I am absolutely biased in that I love everything that Zack Sabre is in, but legitimately, like, Brad Shad selling for 10 minutes and then big comeback was real good. Actually, I should have left this up here, as we have got another match featuring Nisk Wrestling Organization competitors. The first portion of the card, like, dedicated to it's dedicated to featuring some of these athletes that we have not seen a lot of in recent memory, not since the Nisk Wrestling Organization special show. But we have the Sins Brothers, the Sinners, going head to head with the team of Antonio Del Valle and Drew Serpa, officially throwing their hat in the ring for the Blake's House Tag Team Championship. We'll have to see how well they handle themselves going up against former champions in the Sinners. So let's go ahead and get into that contest right now. Of course, longtime Blake's House Wrestling fans will remember this team was in contention for the Blake's House Tag Team titles once before, not quite able to reach the top of the mountain. But after several weeks to just refresh, reevaluate their strategy, they find themselves in contention this evening. And right now, Drew Serpa going up against James Sins. Now this is going to be wrestler versus wrestler. Big chop to the throat. Slam, and once again going to those instincts that you don't really ever unlearn. Immediately going for the pin after getting that advantageous position. But amateur wrestling is a different world from professional wrestling, as Drew Serpa caught in the unblockable as the Sinners go high and low. And Dean Sins just flattening Drew so very far away from his own corner, but it looks like he was able to escape. And Antonio is now in this contest, and we are going STO and sweep as Antonio Del Valle in control. Kick to the side of the head. And Antonio, absolute house of fire right now, as Dean Sins not given a moment to breathe.
Ask him.
And Antonio calling Harada over, asking to check for the submission. Misses with that wheel kick, and that's going to create an opportunity for Dean Sins to get to his own corner. Both sides missing with their toe kick. Antonio, once again, just not relenting for a second, but that eye poke may have cut him off. No. A big Rana, and now Antonio going high risk. Rolling guillotine, but James Sins rolling out of the way. Both parties collapse to the floor, but Antonio to his feet first. And gonna slow it down, brother. Applies a chin lock. And once again, James Sins trying to create space with that eye poke, but Antonio not allowing for a moment. And once again, Drew caught high and low as Dean Sins just grinds his elbow into the side of Drew's head. On mount, and then transitions into a chokehold. Goes that double leg, doesn't find its mark, but will create an opportunity for Antonio with that roll-up combination, as Antonio able to get to his feet and apply this hold. And Antonio just completely unstoppable, and just as I say that, devastating powerbomb from Dean Sins. Rolls through one, but only a one count. This match will continue for quite some time further. Big chop to the throat. But Antonio, cover one, and only one. Sinners possibly starting to figure Antonio's offense out a little bit. You're seeing more reversals. You're seeing a different strategy as this team takes on Antonio specifically. Drew yet to really get started, but got to figure he has been watching Antonio take this team on, trying to figure out exactly how he wants to challenge the Sinners. Well, it looks like this is a bit of a reverse from last week's strategy, where Drew keeping himself fresh to make that late match push, as Antonio has been carrying that offensive load. That being said, Antonio doing a fine job of that on his own thus far. Big headbutt, but Antonio unfazed. Big jawbreaker. Jawbreaker once again. And Antonio's had enough. Snapmare takedown.
10 minutes gone.
On, rolls through 1, 2. And this will clear the corner as Drew takes on Dean Sins. And big backdrop. Just flattening Dean Sins. And a frog splash in honor of Antonio's Uncle Eddie. But Dean Sins rolling out of the way, creating space for James to take Antonio on, and that illegal choke, Harada counting 3. He's got until 5, but an excellent bit of teamwork as Drew creating an opportunity for Antonio. And Antonio giving Drew a moment to think as he applies that hold onto James Sins. Lifted, then drop, cover, 1. Only a count of 1. These are former champions. This is a team that you are going to have to give your best effort to beat. And that is just not yet been enough to put the Sinners away. Another lift and then drop and cover once again, 1. And only a count of 1. Dean Sins back in his own corner. Armbar, and that's going to clear out both aprons. And a stunned Drew going to create an opportunity for the Sinners to get a fresh man in, but the Sinners leaving Drew open to get back to that orange Gatorade corner, and Antonio going high risk with that big frog splash, cover 2, and count of 2. Cover 1, but so very close to that orange Gatorade corner. Rolling guillotine, this time it will connect.
Ask him.
And Antonio calling Harada over once again. Drew unable to cut Dean Sins off. And Drew once again unable to cut Dean Sins off as he gets to his own corner. James now the legal man in this contest. But Antonio bringing Drew back in. Once again, a fresher Drew. A Drew that has not been in the ring for very long in this contest, and you've got to figure that's going to play a factor this late into the match. Big toe kick, but Ron rolls through, cover 1, 2. Antonio not even needing to come in to make the save. Antonio assisting his teammate, roll up, cover 1, and still only 1. Roll up once again, but a rope break will stop this, stop that pin attempt. Back switch from Drew, rolling knee bar. Dean Sins able to cut Antonio off this time. Cover 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Drew electing to go back to his own corner, bring Antonio back into this contest. Goes for the double leg, unable to connect. Goes for it once again. It is sidestepped again. And now Antonio and Dean Sins slugging it out in the center of the ring. And Antonio on top in that exchange, but a rake to the eyes, attempting to cut off his momentum. Hold on, sunset flip, powerbomb, cover 1. And only 1, as that was just too close to that orange Gator, or that blue Gatorade corner. Hold on, what is Dean Sins going for here, as that double knees right to the back, and the unblockable again, high and low. Antonio unable to protect himself. Referees count at 2. Drew coming in to make the save and delivering some knees to the back of the head of his own. And Antonio trying to bring this fight back into his own corner, where his team has the greatest odds of winning this contest. Hold on, Northern Lights suplex and cross arm breaker, but Antonio foot on the bottom rope. But another armbar here, and that's going to do it. And a critical mistake at the end of the match, as Antonio brought this fight back into the blue corner, right back into the Sinners corner. And that's going to cost this team a victory against the former champions that were the Sinners. Sometimes it is like that. But so very soon after the previous Battle Royal, we are going to be setting up for the COLBY Open Challenge Battle Royal. So if you guys have some names that you want to see in a professional wrestling match, now would be the time to call those out. You know, they really did. I don't know. We'll have to talk to Antonio about. So I feel like he's pretty attached to that mask, but we'll have to figure that out at a later date. British Bulldog. I am almost certain I have a British Bulldog. So let's. Could have sworn I did, but it does not look like I do. Frank could be in another Battle Royal. So, Zoe, I do not have a British Bulldog, which is a thing I will have to correct before the next one. But JPW office asking for Frank to be, or rather, really the answer is Frank Vista demanding to be working double duty tonight. And I can get some of those other names on there as well that you called out, Nick. but that is going to leave 4 more names that we need to call to figure out who is going to be in this Battle Royal. Kurt Angle, I've got definitely mini Kurt Angles. So that is no problem at all. You want 91 or like 2000 Kurt Angle, or do you want like Kurt Angle 2003-ish? And I can get the Bear and Will Smith in this match as well. I'm gonna go with... I mean, better is subjective. But I'll go with Angelo 2. And see requests for Will Smith and the Bear. I can make both of those things happen. And we got one more slot. Know who we could want? DMX? I can do a DMX. Well, we did need one until Jamel requested DMX for tonight's contest. So, Drew Blake, you are just a few seconds too late, as we have we now have a full field of 8. That we're going to have to narrow down to 1 to determine who is going to be facing COLBY in tonight's contest. And appreciate you stopping by, Blake. I know you got your own stream to attend to. Now, the thing that I'm kind of curious about is, well, let's run the match and we can see what's going to happen in the Battle Royal, because these are absolute chaos. Let's just jump right into this match.
Fight!
So Vista, of course, already wrestling once tonight in a barn burner of a contest. Big Pele kick from the Fresh Prince. Still too early to really make a call on how this match is going to play out. But unlike the Knicks Wrestling Organization Battle Royal that we opened tonight's show with, if your feet touch that mat on the outside, you are eliminated. So eliminations can happen fast. Eliminations can happen seemingly at random. So it is anyone's guess how this match is going to play out. Princler and Christopher slugging it out near the top of our screen there. Will Smith caught in the unblockable, even being the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, unable to defend yourself from that high and low assault. Looks like Kurt Angle has been busted open. Back switch from Vista. And Vista, when he's near the ropes, so dangerous, as his arsenal absolutely full of suplexes and throws that can very easily send you over that top rope. But thus far, all 8 competitors escaping elimination up to this point in the match. On back switch from Princler and a big chop block. Princler attempting to create some offense against Brandon, but there's too much chaos in the ring. And Kurt Angle, call him Kurt Angle, going up against Bear, but it's like Frank Vista picking up there. And DMX with the assist and that power bomb. Seems Frank Vista has some sort of vendetta against Bear, as these two have been battling it out for several minutes, but Bear electing to change dance partners, going up against the dog that is DMX. Nearly a 3 count there as Mario gets to 2 on that pin attempt. Big vertical suplex from Brandon. And the Fresh Prince with a Pele kick, and another for good measure. And Will Smith in the zone right now. Working the legs of DMX. You gotta figure he's setting up for that ankle lock. And big belly-to-belly overhead suplex. Just launching DMX, but immediately put in the path of Bear. Big suplex and DMX sent to the outside. And that is going to be our first elimination, as Frank Vista with those devastating suplexes able to score 1 elimination in this match. Backdrop and neck breaker from Princler and Will Smith. Cover 1, 2. Count 2. Brandon just absolutely leveling Will Smith, but Princler coming in to make the save, and then locking on the crossface to Will Smith, but Will Smith will not give up. Princler locking on the crossface once again. Princler and Brandon now battling it out. Big sweep. Kamigoye from Bear, and devastating suplex from Vista, but trying to out suplex Kurt Angle, an exercise in futility. Brandon, half-hour suplex, sends Will Smith to the outside. That is going to be another elimination. 2, 3. Northern Light suplex, that is going to send Christopher home as well. Suplex with bridge, 2. Bear staying in this contest. Kurt Angle working the legs of Princler, so far away from that bottom rope. Brandon applies the spinning toe hold to Frank Vista, and repeated punches to the side of the head. Stroke of midnight. Princler going for the elimination on Kurt Angle. 2. but it's not enough.
Give up. Give up. Give up. Give up.
Ooh, double leg takedown to Kurt Angle, but trying to do a double leg on an Olympic gold medalist, a man that won Olympic gold with a broken freaking neck. I would not advise that strategy in the world of wrestling, but hold on. Looks like Vista able to come out on top as he transitions into that chokehold. Big suplex, but Princler shutting Angle down. Fireman's carry buster from Brandon. As Vista takes Brandon's back. Kurt Angle one-on-one with the bear. Double leg takedown goes right into that series of punches. But I'm a Bear made of tougher stuff than that. But I'm a Bear busted open. Applies that chokehold. Brandon does the deal. No one kicks out of the Falcon Arrow, but only a count of 2. Crushing lariat from Brandon and the Bear. But that is going to leave Princler all alone with Brandon at the bottom of your screen. Snap suplex, both competitors down. I'm a Bear struggling to find his win. This match has been going on for so long. Once again, Brandon doing the deal. Count 2.9. Big backdrop from Brandon. But Angle transitions into a picture-perfect suplex. But Brandon's hand on the bottom rope will prevent him from being eliminated.
1, 2, 3.
And Vista lift and drop. Just suplex after suplex. And now Kurt Angle going head-to-head with Frank Vista once again. And rolls through that chokehold. That's going to do it. Kurt Angle out-wrestled by Frank Vista, at the very least in that exchange. And suplex once. Transitions into those repeated punches to the side of the head as I'm a Bear locks on the regular hug.
Give up.
But Princler to his feet. I'm a Bear using his large and powerful claws to create some space. Suplex with bridge. 1, 2, 3 count fall. Another elimination for Vista. And this could be Frank Vista's time. But right now he has to go through Princler and I'm a Bear. See how well he is able to rise to that challenge as he's slugging it out with a Bear. Those massive paws just colliding with the head of Frank Vista, but Frank Vista responding back, roaring elbow, and Princler just buries a shoulder right into the back of the leg of Frank Vista, locks on a hold, but I'm a Bear saving Frank Vista from possible elimination. And crossface, 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 but I'm a Bear hand on the bottom rope. And I'm a Bear eliminated. It is down to 2. Suplex once, twice, and suplex a third time. Frank Vista, just an absolute machine, but Princler transitions into that armbar. And Princler stealing one from Frank Vista. As Princler catapulting himself to the top of the card, as he will be the challenger in tonight's COLBY Open Challenge. But that match is not until much later, as we have a match that the matchmakers at Blake's House Professional Wrestling have been waiting for quite some time. And that is going to be Kurt London going head-to-head with Yuri Yamaneko. Now, of course, the matchup that the Blake's House audience certainly wants to see is Kurt London versus Maglo, but with Maglo still missing 2 weeks in a row now, that situation becoming more and more dire as these weeks tick on. This is going to be one hell of a show. Kurt London going head-to-head with the Wildcat, Yamaneko. Kurt London, a man who is just always ready for the spotlight to be on him at any given moment. Going up against one of the new faces of Blake's House. In Yuri Yamaneko. Going for that tornado kick early, does not find its mark. If I had to guess, Yamaneko certainly able to match London's pace, but is she going to be able to keep it up for the duration of this contest? We are going to have to find out as this match goes on. And London, we saw this strategy employed when he fought Antonio recently, when fighting against an athletic, an agile competitor. He's going to try to slow the match down a little bit. Try to give his opponent something they won't expect. And Yamaneko applying the cravat, drop toe hold, but London to his feet immediately. Back switch, but Yamaneko back elbow. And Yuri just boot to the side of the head, but London gets up, ready for more, and once again just driving that shoulder right into the arm of Yamaneko. Goes for that enziguri, but it's sidestepped by London. And big DDT. And that Frankensteiner just driving Yuri's head right into the canvas, and once again, DDT as well. And Kurt London in the driver's seat. Basement dropkick right into the face. Drop toe hold. Yuri now is trying to slow this match down a little bit. Starting to work the legs of Kurt London. Kurt London responding back. Dragon screw leg whip. And absolutely gorgeous standing moonsault. Only getting a 1 count. Kurt London now shoots into the outside. Hold on now. Oh my god, just amazing display of athletic ability, but Yamaneko just transitions right into that arm hold as she was just a little bit more prepared. Big hip check and springboard body press. And Yamaneko now transitioning into that knee bar, once again attacking the legs of Kurt London. London going low, Yamaneko going high. Neither party connects, but these chops and kicks absolutely do. Yuri now running the ropes and boot to the side of the head.
Yes!
And London once again putting Yuri into the corner, but Yuri powering out. And float over DDT will leave both competitors on the mat, but Kurt London to his feet first. And another shotgun dropkick right to the face. And hold on, Shining Wizard, knee right into the jaw, trying to crush those sunglasses. And leg lariat to the back of the head for good measure. Yamaneko now getting fired up. And both of these competitors, no strangers to running the distance to this 20 by 20 ring. Ron London going high risk already here. As a flying Frankensteiner off the top. And another one as he shoots Yamaneko right into prime position.
Come on! Come on!
As Kurt London just asserting his dominance here. And a 3-count fall. Showcasing that he is not only one of the brightest stars in Blake's House Professional Wrestling Television, but one of the most athletic, one of the most agile, one of the greatest high flyers that you are going to see on this program, as he delivers just a vicious assault from the top rope to close that match out with the Flaming 151. And yes, certainly one of the pinkest as well. But let us go ahead and keep this show rolling here. The best team that money can buy. Unfortunately, Melts Mafia do not have a Discord for... well, I guess I sort of have a Discord. But it is like for the writers more than for the like viewers. I might play with that a little bit in the future, and if people start tuning into the stream and are interested in like having a streamer Discord, I can get something for you. But if you were tuned in last week, the greatest team that money could buy, the Mega Bucks, Ted DiBiase, Andre the Giant, backed by Virgil, unseated Kurt London, Brad Chad, and Zack Sabre Jr. as the champions of the KOF television title. So we're going to have to see Will those words ring true? Can anybody beat Megabucks? Well, you're going to find out tonight. As a team of real shooters taking on the Megabucks. So let's go ahead and get into this contest right now. Of course, Blue Mary, no stranger to the KOF television title. Before that championship was even an official fixture of our program, she had been featured in those trios contests. And she is coming back to the KOF TV title spot, bringing in Mila and Laura as the real shooters of the fighting game world. And once again, taking on the best team that money can buy. Andre the Giant, absolutely frightening competitor, but do not count the $1 million man Ted DiBiase out. He will put you to sleep with his $1 million dream. But right now, Mary seemingly holding her own quite well against DiBiase. And Mary already starting to work the leg. Just as we were discussing in the Zack, Sabre, Brad, Chad contest, all three members of this team catch as catch-can specialists. If you leave a limb exposed, expect any one of these competitors to try to take it off. Right now, Virgil holding his own against Mila. Saw him look to that orange Gatorade corner, possibly thinking about bringing in Andre the Giant. Going to that mount position, transitions into the Kimura. But Virgil powering out and does elect to bring Andre into this contest. And Andre the Giant, the X Factor of this orange Gatorade team. Hold on, Mila shooting Andre into the corner, but a colossal elbow to the face. On Mila, for a moment, gaining the upper hand, pinning Andre to the mat, but that size advantage just proving to be too much. And Mila bringing Laura into this contest. Certainly enigmatic grappler from the Street Fighter circuit. A competitor so difficult to keep track of just where she's coming at you from. And she's going to attempt to use that same style to keep these champions guessing as she delivers forearm smash after forearm smash to the $1 million man Ted DiBiase.
5 minutes gone.
Only gets one. Sidesteps that lariat. Sidesteps once again as these two competitors in a bit of a feeling out process. DiBiase, a ring veteran, not wanting to give Laura an opportunity to start to work one of those limbs and shut down his offensive efforts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big snapmare from DiBiase. Laura applying that sneaky cover. But once again, the Giant is back in this contest. As Mary is going to have to try to put Andre away. And Blue Mary does slam the Giant. Of course, she has fought absolute mountains of men before in her time in the King of Fighters circuit, but she has never faced the 8th wonder of the world until now. Big double vertical suplex, and DiBiase going to elect to add some injury to insult as he continues to work Blue Mary over while she's on the outside.
8, 9, 10,
Rolling Kimura hold. Harada's count is at 12.
13,
Andre sending Mary to the inside, where she's going to be going one-on-one with Virgil. Wrestling superstar. And big shotgun dropkick. Mary electing to go back to her own corner. Bring Laura back into this contest. Repeated forearm smashes and transitions right into that knee bar.
Yeah.
Laura throwing those devastating kicks, but it's going to take more than that to slow Andre down.
10 minutes gone.
Once again, only a count of 1. Big boot to the stomach, and Andre just proving to be the immovable object that you know he is, as Laura completely unable to get anything going against this mountain of a man. And that is going to send her back into her own corner as Mila attempts to figure out the enigma that is the 8th wonder. Colossal headbutt, and Andre now running the ropes and buries an elbow right into the jaw of Mila. Laura trying to work the legs of the Giant. They're trying to slow him down and hold on just a moment. A real shooter's golden trigger as they bury knees into the face of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Looks like DiBiase electing to bring Virgil Wrestling Superstar back into this contest. Step up Insecurity from Mary, and Mary once again going up top. Rolling guillotine, but does not find its mark as Virgil Wrestling Superstar able to roll out of the way. Virgil giving this team a hard time as those repeated punches to the face just short-circuiting Mary's offense. As Virgil connects with that Russian leg sweep, just planting Mary's head right into that bottom turnbuckle. Cover 1, 2. This team cannot afford to be down a man against the $1 Million Man and Andre the Giant. Looks like Mary will be going back into her own corner. Step up Insecurity, creating an opportunity for Laura. She's starting to work the legs of Virgil Wrestling Superstar. And big knee right to the jaw and flying armbar as well. That is going to clear out both aprons. And Virgil, those repeated punches creating space to get to his own corner, and once again, the real shooters will have to contend with the 8th wonder of the world, that is Andre the Giant. Repeated chops to the chest, just burying that massive palm into the solar plexus of Lara. Lara rolls through, transitions in that pinning predicament, but Andre to his feet first. And Lara getting back into her own corner. Just Andre just a little bit too slow to keep up. And Mary now applying that Kimura. Again, targeting the joints of Andre the Giant. Headlock takeover, but Andre's foot caught on that bottom rope. And big elbow, but too close to that blue Gatorade corner. It's going to create an opportunity. And rolling knee bar, but once again, another rope break. Ooh, Mary possibly setting up for a Rana of some sort, but Andre the Giant just shutting him down. Cover 1, 2. That was nearly enough to put the $1 Million Man away, but Harada has completely lost control of this match. There are bodies all over the ring here. Sunset flip, power bomb, cover 1, 2, 3 count fall, and the $1 Million Man has been eliminated. And the landscape of this match has completely changed as the real shooters have a man advantage against the Mega Bucks. Andre trying to position himself. This is going to be such a difficult team for Andre the Giant to contend with. Hold on, what's going on here? Oh my God! Don't even know what to call that tandem offense from Lara and Mila. But Andre getting fired up, burying all 500 pounds right in the heart of Mila. Mila working the leg of Andre once again. But Andre proving to be a very difficult man to keep down. Those repeated headbutts. Virgil making the sacrifice play, getting in the way of that attempt to break up the pinfall, but just wasn't quite enough. Cover 1, 2. Oh my God, that was nearly enough to put Mila away. And you can just see how much this match has taken a toll on Andre the Giant. He is almost completely out of gas, but using that size advantage to protect himself. He's got to get to his own corner, bring Virgil Wrestling Superstar back into this match. But it's going to be so difficult to match the speed of this team. And flying tornado DDT from Blue Mary goes for the cover 1. But Virgil Wrestling Superstar able to break up the pin attempt. Andre needs to get back to his own corner, but hold on just a moment here. Mary just throwing Andre the Giant around, but the $1 Million Man making sure that he is still able to get involved in this contest. Harada unable to count the pinfall. Andre still so close, yet so far from his own corner. And belly-to-belly overhead suplex. Going to send Virgil into the center of the ring. Cover 1, 2, 3 count fall. Andre just not quite fast enough to break up that pin attempt. Belly-to-belly overhead suplex from Mila. And now it is 3-on-1 against Andre the Giant. Can the 8th wonder of the world overcome these impossible odds? Absolutely picture-perfect suplex from Mila. And Andre trying to power out of this man disadvantage. Just slugging it out, this time with Lara. And a devastating headbutt as Andre continues to struggle to catch his breath. He is not going to get a moment to rest here. But able to block that wheel kick just with the sheer bulk of his body. Cover 1, 2. But only gets 2. And Andre thinking about getting back to his own corner, but there's nobody left to tag. Triangle Lancer from Lara, but the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, on the ropes. Harada unable to count or call the submission. Andre once again just struggling to stay alive in this match. Blue Mary going high risk. Flying tornado DDT. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3 count fall. Andre the Giant making a bold claim last week that no one could beat Megabucks. But this team of shooters proving Andre wrong. As the KOF TV title once again around the waist of a King of Fighters competitor. Well, we're going to just keep this show rolling here. We do have coming up next the COLBY Open Challenge, and we now know who is going to be facing COLBY in that Open Challenge contest. Of course, that was Princler coming out on top in that Battle Royal situation. We're going to have to see if he is going to be able to take on the maddest human that is Colby Cole. But let us not waste any more of your time. Let's get into tonight's contest right now. A bit of a stranger to this, not exactly main event picture, but certainly not a appearing this high on the card. Colby, of course, no stranger. A man that is currently holding Blake's House Gold in those tag team championships. You've got to figure that Colby certainly stressing over the whereabouts of his tag team partner, Maglo. And that source of stress, possibly a distraction last week that ended up costing him the match against Jasper. But we will see if he's able to get his mind in a better place in this match, and it looks like it is, as a brutal back elbow just flattens Princler. Colby just displaying dominance with that power advantage that he's got over Princler. Princler down, dragon screw leg whip. Got to figure his strategy in taking the stronger man down is going to be that leg work. But we will see if that pans out over the course of this contest. Big European uppercut. And repeated forearm smashes, and Princler not letting the bright lights of going on later slow him down either. He's doing everything he can to slow Colby down in this contest. Of course, that is a bit of a double-edged sword. As you attempt to slow Colby down, he becomes more angry, becomes more violent. Not too dissimilar to Kota Ibushi. A man that's will come at you like the Terminator as you continue to do everything you can to hurt him. Princler continuing to work the legs, this time with that modified knee bar. And stroke of midnight, center of the ring, goes for the cover. 1, 2. And Colby kicking out at 2. Swinging wildly with those heavy left and right hands. You know, Colby looking for that atomic lariat, that maneuver that he's used to devastate opponents. And it looks like frustration beginning to set in for Colby as he delivers those hard shots to the face, those mounted punches.
5 minutes gone.
And once again going to the mounted punches. As I said, it's a double-edged sword going after Colby. You're going to make him more angry. And unlike many opponents, you are not going to cause him to lose focus. You are going to cause him to come at you with a greater intensity, as he has exhibited over the course of this contest. The Princler now locking on that scarf hold, trying to literally choke the life out of Colby in this contest, but still not enough. Princler goes for the cover 2, and only 2. And again, another flying neckbreaker. Both competitors laid out on the mat. Clearly that took a lot out of him. Princler roll up, cover 2. And still only 2. Big cross chop, and Princler very proud of himself as he runs the ropes and drives an elbow into the heart of Colby. Stroke of midnight once again. Cover 1, 2. And that time, so very close. Colby nearly unable to get his hands off the mat, or shoulder off the mat rather, but he is able to do so, and this match will continue. Princler going high risk, and diving elbow drop. And now locking on that knee bar once again. But Colby, so difficult to submit. So difficult to keep down. Princler repeated knee drops to the back of the head, but Colby cutting Princler off already. And rolling elbow does not find its mark as Princler able to sidestep that hard shot. But COLBY going for a cover, possibly out of desperation, only getting a count of 1. Princler, that's a long distance to cover, nearly 10 feet, but Princler elects to step down, thinking better, but hold on. COLBY, oh no, only a shoulder block. Thought he was possibly going for that atomic lariat, thinks better of it. Princler locking on that armbar. COLBY still so difficult to submit. Hold on. Big jawbreaker, and COLBY now just throwing Princler around quite literally. Hold on. Crossface, crossface, crossface. COLBY center of the ring. But still refuses to tap out. You're going to beat me. You're going to have to pin me. I will not be submitted. I will not be pinned. As COLBY pump handle, slam, cover, 2. Only a count of 2. But COLBY clearly getting fired up, finding a second win from somewhere. Runs the ropes and atomic gladiator! Not quite enough to put Princler away, though. As Princler drops the impaler. Goes for the chop block, but COLBY is unfazed. As I said, COLBY, like a Terminator. Hold on, running the ropes, sliding up. Oh! Cover, 1, 2. Oh my God, so close. Stroke of midnight once again. That's gotta be it. 1, 2, 3 count, fall. Princler calling for an additional challenge as he is able to best COLBY in singles action. And once again, got to figure COLBY's longtime friend and tag team partner being missing in action for the past couple weeks had to have been a factor in that contest. COLBY unable to focus on the task in front of him, despite that nearly picking up the victory anyway, but Princler able to get a clean win in the center of the ring over our current tag team champion, COLBY. But, we are nearing the end of tonight's show. Just 3 matches left. Of course, the match that you are all waiting for, tonight's main event, Blake's House Heavyweight Championship match. Eric Alpizar on a winning streak of winning streaks, beating the top stars in Blake's House Professional Wrestling, earning himself a shot against Terrell's title. But before we get to that, we have the uncrowned king of Judgment Pro Wrestling going up against the champion that is A-Man in a special exhibition match. So let us go ahead and get into that match right now. man that has held the Judgment Pro Wrestling champion for over 20 weeks. A man that has been absolutely unstoppable on Judgment Pro Wrestling programming. A man that I believe has only been pinned or submitted once on Blake's House television. But he is going up against the uncrowned king that is Joey Bag of Donuts. A man that possesses feet with a high degree of education, and you're going to be seeing plenty of those kicks from Joey as he attempts to deliver a soul butt early on in this contest. These two competitors still in the feeling out process. They know exactly how dangerous their opponent is over the course of this match, but hold on. A-Man already, amazing display of power, just throwing Joey into the mat. Joey transitioning into that Boston Crab. And still, as I said, in that feeling out process, in the early parts of this match, as neither competitor wants to slip up, give their opponent an edge. Now it is A-Man trying to slow things down, trying to slow Joey down, trying to work the legs and lower back of this vicious striker that is Joey Bag of Donuts. But A-Man now going full steam, cover 1, 2, getting a 2 count early in this contest. Roaring lariat does not find the mark. And neither will that, but A-Man once again just holding Joey nearly 8 feet in the air. And Joey responding back, rolls through, but not even getting a 1 count on the champion. A-Man once again going for that big body press, unable to connect with it as Joey scrambles to his feet. As that is a maneuver that A-Man has won so many matches with. Joey not wanting to be on the receiving end of that more than once in this contest. Ooh, goes for a drop kick, but sidestepped by A-Man. A-Man now. Brain buster just crushes the skull of Joey Bag of Donuts. And Joey has had enough. These two slugging it out. A-Man pushing Joey back with those sledgehammer-like shots. And A-Man is first to his feet. Snap suplex from Joey. He tries to figure out exactly what he can do to slow A-Man down. Once again locking on that Boston Crab. Big DDT from Joey. Got to figure a win for Joey here would be huge. Both because he will join the very short list of competitors that have a pinfall or submission victory over A-Man. But specifically the fact that he has beaten the champion, as that would surely move him to the top of the list of contenders for this title. And another big body press, cover 2. And that was nearly enough to put him away right there. As I said, he has won so many matches with that hold. Hold on, big monkey flip. And X marks the spot where Joey is going to drop that falling fist. And he continues to work the legs and lower back of A-Man. That appears to be his strategy over the course of this contest. We haven't seen a lot of those devastating kicks that Joey is so well known for. Maybe he's got a different plan to try and come out on top in this contest. Big moonsault fall 2, but only a count of 2. And brain buster once again, and A-Man running the ropes, going for that body press, but unable to connect as Joey getting to his feet on instinct alone. but he was out on his feet. He took everything he had to stand up. And he was laid back down to the mat with a big boot from A-Man. But hold on now. Devastating kick combination, and there is that striking ability that Joey is so well known for. Hold on now. Going high risk, big body splash. And Joey is not finished. Goes to the dropkick, sidestepped by A-Man. But Joey has gained some momentum, and once again, devastating kick combination. Cover 1, 2. And A-Man showing a sign of weakness as he was struggling to get a shoulder up after that strike combination. Hold on now, cover 1, 2. And Joey seems to have found a second wind as he brings A-Man to the center of the ring, calling for the springboard elbow. Goes coast to coast, springboard elbow, and once again, X marks the spot, as this time his elbow is buried right into the chest of A-Man, but A-Man somehow finding the strength to kick out, but Joey just continuing that offensive assault. Big Rana from Joey. And forearm smash, and is that enough? 2. No. A-Man not allowing a forearm smash to be the deciding hold in this contest, but A-Man taking a moment to breathe as he was clearly not prepared for just how dangerous an opponent Joey has been over the course of this match. That is why we call him the uncrowned king of Judgment Pro Wrestling. We know that he is capable of this, but he just has not gotten a shot on a stage this great. And another big Rana from Joey. It looks like he's setting up once again, calling for that springboard elbow. Coast to coast again, springboard elbow. And that has to be it. 3 count fall, and Joey Bagadonas picking up a pinfall victory over the champion in this special exhibition. And the dynamic of the Judgment Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship has completely changed. Well, now there's almost no choice in the matter. The Joey has pinned the champion. That we'll have to confirm with the Judgment Pro Wrestling office, but I believe that is going to be a very strong case that Joey is the new #1 contender. I can't tell you why that man has an X on his chest. I mean, it's cool, I guess. But we are going to keep this going. As I alluded to earlier on tonight's show, retribution was in order for the way James Holloway has been a terror in the Blake's house and the Judgment Pro Wrestling locker rooms. The Gatekeeper going one-on-one with Holloway last week, but JB3 deciding that was not enough. And the matchmakers of JPW and Blake's House Wrestling agreeing, we are going to have a trios match of GK and The Firm going up against the stable that is James Holloway, Shenjo, and Blake Cabus. And that match will be right now.
Firm,
of course, winning the Chop Shop Tag Team titles last week. Once again in that victory red suits. But they have certainly got their work cut out for them as they went to war with John Newton and Robert Walsh. And they are going to be going up against a team of legit tough guys in Holloway, Jamel, and Blake Cabus. But I don't think the Firm have too much to worry about. They are backed by the enforcer that is the Gatekeeper. And the Gatekeeper starting off strong, taking it to Holloway early on in this contest. Hitting him with everything, including the kitchen sink. But Holloway trying to reverse course, bringing in Shenjo, an enforcer of his own. As big man versus big man, Shenjo gaining the upper hand and clubbing blow to the back and lift and drop, slamming the Gatekeeper to the mat, but the Gatekeeper to his feet immediately. And the Gatekeeper trying to get back to his own corner. Mr. Smith now in this contest, but Shenjo swinging wildly with those big boots. And a massive spine buster from Shenjo will put Mr. Smith onto the mat. And big back elbow. Jamel is in control. Big German suplex, 2, but only 2. Although only 2, maybe not the right word in this situation, as getting a 2 count this early, certainly an accomplishment, cover 1, but that is going to clear out the blue Gatorade corner as the Gatekeeper now taking it to Jamel, creating an opportunity for Mr. Adams to be brought into this contest. Big double powerbomb, Mr. Smith in trouble here, but Mr. Adams giving him a moment to breathe, get back to his own corner as Mr. Adams and Blake battle it out. Big arm drag. Mr. Adams now with a back elbow, trying to slow Blake down. Big scoop and a slam into the mat right onto his own Whale Boys logo. They call him the Money Blake. But right now, Mr. Adams trying to work over the Money Man himself. Of course, if you want to see more of the Money Blake, you can tune into twitch.tv/ALXice. Preferably after this programming has concluded this evening. Right now, we are back to Enforcer versus Enforcer as Shenjo and the Gatekeeper going head to head in that blue Gatorade corner. Gatekeeper now gaining some offensive momentum of his own, but Jamel lift and drop and goes for a cover 1, 2, but only 2. As the Gatekeeper now back to his own corner. These teams, the Firm's so experienced as tag team wrestlers, keeping one another fresh, keeping the fight in their own corner. That has been the hallmark of their style. And they are exercising that style to great effect over the course of this match. Big boot to the face, but a wild haymaker not finding its mark, creating an opportunity for Shenjo to get to his own corner. Blake saving Shenjo from that fall-away slam. And big spine buster from Blake now. Blake going high risk. Big frog splash in honor of his Uncle Eddie too. And that was nearly a 3 count right there. That is going to send Mr. Adams back to his own corner and bring the Gatekeeper back into this contest. Hold on now. Big pile driver. Just driving Blake right onto his stack of dimes. Blake now bringing James back in this match, and a bit of a miscue between James and Blake, and that is going to cost their team as Blake comes crashing into the mat. Hold on, rolling knee bar. Is that going to be enough? Oh, Mr. Adams able to break it up. GK getting a 2 count on Holloway. And the dynamic of this fight has just changed. As the Firm just working over Holloway with those steel chairs. And it is absolute chaos, and Harada has lost control of this contest. And blue thunder bomb from Holloway, but too close to that blue Gatorade corner. Holloway powering out of that triple team offense, bringing Blake back into this match. And Mr. Adams will do the same, bringing Mr. Smith into this contest. Hold on. Big springboard cutter from Blake, but it's not going to be enough to put Mr. Smith away. Big kick to the side of the head, and Blake now in control. Big flying Rana, and Blake getting fired up. Goes high risk now. Big frog splash, but lung blower to Mr. Smith. Goes for the cover again. And Mr. Smith creating an opening to bring in his tag team partner. And big pile driver just crushing Blake into the mat. Blake now bringing a fresh Shenjo into this contest. Big lariat, but quite literally beaten to the punch by Mr. Adams. And Shenjo is in trouble here. Shenjo calling for the finish, roaring lariat, and a second one for good measure. Shenjo now slamming Mr. Adams once, twice, 3 times to the mat, stacks him up, 1, 2, but only 2. And once again, both aprons completely cleared out. It is absolute chaos in the ring. A devastating powerbomb will flatten Jamel, but only a count of 2.9. Shinjo powering out of that pin predicament. And he's going to go back to his own corner, bring James back into this match. And Mr. Adams will do the same for the Gatekeeper. Roaring Lariat this time from the Gatekeeper. And cover, is that going to be enough? 1, 2, 3 count fall, and the Gatekeeper once again picking up a pinfall victory over James Holloway. I'm certain this is not the last time you will see some combination of these competitors battling it out in a Blake's House ring. But clearly the vendetta between JB3 and James Holloway is only beginning. Also drew spine. Stack of dimes means spine. But we are down to tonight's main event, which is not this match. It is instead this match. A Blake's House Wrestling Heavyweight Championship match. Hold on a second here. Okay, yeah, I was doing what I thought I was doing. With Eric Alpizar going head-to-head with Terrell. A man that's... Oh, actually, I should set this up, because I know what's going to happen if I don't. There we go. Eric Alpizar going head-to-head with Terrell. Eric on a massive win streak, but Terrell not one to be underestimated. We thought he was sitting at home just protecting his title, but each and every week that we brought him out to compete, he picked up significant victory after significant victory of his own. So this is two men just with all the momentum in the world behind them, and can't even begin to speculate on how this match is going to turn out. So let's get right into tonight's championship contest. Tonight's main event, Eric Alpizar, Terrell Benjamin, one-on-one for the Blake's House Heavyweight Championship. Eric clearly taking this match seriously. Coming out looking like Tiger Woods on a Sunday, but so is Terrell. As both of these competitors want to have their hand raised with the Blake's House Heavyweight Championship at the end of tonight's show. Already behind Terrell. But Alpizar looking to silence that crowd. As always, a man that has never once cared about what anyone has thought of him, of his style. Very okay with being the heel in this contest. Ooh, big double leg takedown from Alpizar, and repeated forearm smashes to the side of the head, but Terrell, hand on the bottom rope. Alpizar will be forced to break the hold. Big boy senton from Terrell, but Alpizar cutting him off, just burying a knee in his chest. And once again, repeated mounted punches. Alpizar wants this to be a physical fight, as you know just how effective Terrell is when he gets a hold of you. Can lift you and slam you into the mat so many different ways. So Alpizar is going to use those long limbs of his, use that striking advantage that he has from that Taekwondo background to try to take Terrell's power advantage away from him. Big back kick to the side of the head. Terrell, wild haymaker of his own, and here is that power wrestling ability that Terrell has exhibited.
5 minutes gone.
Alpizar now fired into that corner turnbuckle, and Terrell just buries his shoulder right into the gut of Alpizar. And now locks on that camel clutch, trying to break his back, make him humble. And a repeated punch to the gut from Alpizar will reverse the course of this match. Terrell once again lifting and dropping Alpizar. Terrell was ready for that rope rebound, but hold on now. Burning hammer. Terrell already bringing out the big guns, going for the cover too. Oh my God, so close, but Alpizar kicks out. And Terrell with that patented finger point, the crowd extremely behind it. But Alpizar just so disinterested in what anyone has got to say, willing to fight a crowd of tens of thousands in attendance and hundreds of thousands at home watching. In addition to the man in the red polo in front of him. Ooh, that big low roundhouse taking Terrell's legs out from under his legs, and Alpizar now, I would say, is in control, but hold on. Burning hammer once again. That could be enough. Cover 1, 2. It's not enough. And Alpizar now lays Terrell out with that combination of strikes. And it's now Terrell on the receiving end, struggling to kick out. Alpizar goes for it once again. But this time it's only 2. Somehow Terrell finding his inner strength, able to get a shoulder off the mat. Big diving elbow, but Alpizar foot on the bottom rope, but you can see he's so winded. That offensive onslaught from Terrell, those 2 burning hammers have taken so much out of him. Tornado kick to the back of the head. Terrell buying a moment to breathe, sending Alpizar to the outside. Alpizar taking a moment on the outside to rethink his strategy over the course of this contest. Goes for the double leg, it does not connect. Creates a little bit of space with that toe kick and that repeated punch combination, leaving Terrell on Dream Street. Big leg lariat from Alpizar. And Alpizar appears to be in the driver's seat at this point in the match. Terrell shot into the corner, big backhand chop, but Terrell fights his way back up to his feet. Terrell rolling through, but both men, this match has already taken so much out of both of them. But hold on now. Burning hammer again, and Alpizar rolls out of the ring, protecting himself from another pin attempt. Just excellent strategy from Alpizar here. Terrell now going high risk. Big diving elbow, buries it into the lower back of Alpizar. Goes for another one, but that was one too many as Alpizar rolls out of the way. And the landscape of this match has completely changed. Terrell getting fired up. Once again, diving elbow. An Emerald Explosion, that has got to be it. Alpizar has taken so much punishment. Cover, 1, 2. No! The toughness on display from Alpizar is nothing short of phenomenal. And the crowd is starting to get behind him. He goes for the double leg. It is sidestepped by Terrell. Terrell once again rolling through, slamming Alpizar to the mat. Both men have given everything they've got. This burning hammer has got to be enough. No! Alpizar to his feet on instinct alone. Terrell cutting Alpizar off with that toe kick, and this could be it. Terrell locking on the figure 4, a bit of an unorthodox maneuver. He typically does not go to that to end matches, but Alpizar kicking out of 2 burning hammers, escaping pin attempts on 2 more. Terrell figures, what have I got left? What have I done that Alpizar has not seen yet in this contest? And is able to pick up the victory with the figure 4 leg hold. In an absolutely spectacular 4.5-star classic. Also, Drew, I saw your comment earlier about Terrell being managed by Brooke and Lynn. Have you seen the Arena Mexico entrance in this game before? Because that is going to conclude the main part of tonight's show. So, of course, we do have our 1 bonus match. But we can send that to Arena Mexico if you've not seen Arena Mexico yet. All right. So, let's go ahead and go to Arena Mexico. Let's go ahead and random. So, what are y'all liking for the bonus match on tonight's program? Out of, we need 1 name from the blue corner and 1 name from the red corner. Let's see, Lindsey Stewart. I can do that. Excuse me. And we're going to have Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse in the blue Gatorade corner. So that is going to be our competitors for this match. So let's go ahead and get into the bonus match of tonight's program. So I usually do Kirk and Hall because that way I don't have to manually toggle entrances on and off because there's no entrances in that venue. But this is the Arena Mexico entrance. Would also be good if like you could have the dancing girls like as a fixture at other arenas, because I would give that to Orlando Nunez as part of his entrance all day. Unfortunately, that is not a thing you can do. But, yeah, I guess, like, quick breakdown on tonight's program. I've got to say the Joey A-Man match and the JPW versus the, like, Dark Hour stable match absolutely did not play out the way I thought it was going to play out. And also, really, the way I wanted it to play out. Because there is, some things we're trying to do with both of those story threads. They're just like the way the matches resolved are going to make it harder to do. Although,
1,
yeah.
2.
Although, like Joey as the uncrowned king and getting a victory over the champion when the title was not on the line will kind of advance his character.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Ooh, love that double drop kick spot.
14, 15,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Also, was not expecting the fighting game shooters team to be that dominant against Megabucks, and I am hoping it was just a mismatch, because if they just run over everybody, then we have solved one problem by creating another problem. It was very much a lady that swallowed the fly situation, which is what that title can be sometimes. Otherwise, pretty solid show. Obviously, Drew, we're going to have to figure out, like,
5 minutes go.
what your team is going to do. Like, could maybe do a you break from Antonio and, like, try to challenge for the singles championships. Because now the number one contender has cashed in his title opportunity and lost. Yeah, we can kind of figure out what we want to do, because like I not only like to give people that like are actually hanging out in the stream a role on the show, because it's cool to see yourself. At least that's like my opinion as a big old narcissist. I like it when people talk about me and do things with me. But also, like, hey, yeah, you had, like, the Battle Royals are very much a opportunity for angles to get started. Like, somebody does something cool in one of those, and we turn it into a storyline, which is kind of where like how Terrell got to where he is, how like something we're trying to do with Frank Vista while we like figure out the creative on him. And I think we might have something with you, just trying to figure out what that something is. Also, Kurt London, just hugely popular. Everybody loves him. Real good wrestler. And like the Zack Sabre Brad Chad match, like very secretly a good ass match. It was also very much a Zack Sabre Jr. match. Either like he is going to get a body part of yours and make you tap, or he is going to lose because he focused so much on getting a submission that he did not actually focus on winning the match, because that is not the only win condition of a pro wrestling match. And then he's going to go backstage and bitch about Boris Johnson existing and how the current political climate of Britain is a hellscape, which I absolutely adore Zack Sabre Jr. for that, like making that part of his character. Big wheel kick from Stewart. No, like the Battle Royal was legit good. It was a slow starter, but like once we got down to about 5 people, like shit started really going on. Yeah. No, definitely looking forward to that matchup. Like, if anything, like I kind of regret putting that on first. But like the way the card was laid out, like, all right, what match do you put on first in this show? Yeah, like I'm trying to put over on commentary, like him getting like favorable booking from the NWO office, although like. That's true. Oh my God! Well, all right. Violent J just crushing Lindsey Stewart with that moonsault. I think that's going to be it for tonight's show. Let me go ahead and let's see. See if anybody is streaming, because I know Blake was streaming earlier. Maybe give you guys something to watch. It looks like Blake is in fact streaming tonight, so I'll go ahead and throw you guys at him, but let me go ahead and do my little closeout spiel here. As always, very much appreciate you guys for watching. We do this every Sunday night at roughly 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/MondayCindy. If you're tuning in on YouTube, I certainly hope you come check us out here. On most Wednesdays, I am doing a NHL 20 exhibition with myself and Heavy Kira. We've been missing the past couple weeks because, as it turns out, real life stuff happens in it, and that stuff sometimes stops you from playing video games you want to play. Additionally, if you were looking for hockey last Wednesday and noticed that hockey wasn't there and instead wrestling was there, I am going to be playing the remainder of the Fire Pro Wrestling World Suda 51 DLC. So be on the lookout for that over the course of this week. I might do some of that tomorrow, depending on, you know, how I'm feeling when I get home from work. Anything else I do is a bonus and entirely unplanned. So, you know, make of that what you will, but certainly hope to see you guys on Sunday nights and on Wednesday nights. But I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys at Blake. Oh man, this channel is intended for mature audiences. I hope y'all can handle that. I trust you guys. Hopefully that trust is not misplaced. But, yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and hope to see you next week.